The Grand Rapids Griffins are one win away from a second Calder Cup title after a 3-2 heartstopper here last night in Syracuse, New York. So now will they be taking a championship team photo with the War Memorial as the backdrop again? Or will this 81st Calder Cup final be decided in Grand Rapids next week? It's game day preview from Syracuse. Bob Kaiser and my partner Larry Figursky. And last night, Larry, the Griffins looked to make adjustments from game number 3 on Wednesday. They lost 5-3. One of those was scoring the all-important first goal.
Yeah, important in any game, especially in a championship series, but in a building like this, Mike Knubel and some of the coaches pointed out how important it was for them to get that goal, not play from behind, especially in front of a crowd of more than 6,500 here, which was the biggest in this building in 20 seasons.
Unbelievable environment here, no doubt. Atmosphere was incredible. The Griffins, by the way, improving to 10-0 when scoring the first goal of a game. So there you have it. The reason that that was an important stat and an important thing to accomplish last night. Griffins not only scored the first goal, they would score the first 3. 2 of them compliments of Dan Bernoff, his second of the game, coming about halfway into period number 2 to build a 3-0 lead.
And that'll be intercepted by Tangrady. Gets around the defense. 2-on-1 with Street.
Late man, too.
Bernoff behind him. They'll drop to Bernoff. Walks in. Shot. Score! Dan Bernoff has got his second of the game. It's 3-0 Grand Rapids. What a perfect play. Tangrady setting up Bernoff.
Well, the rookie out of the University of Maine, Danny Bernoff, picked a good time to add the scoring touch to his all-around game here last night.
Yeah, definitely not my role here, but for me to pitch in offensively was huge, and I think it was a good time for me to do it.
Well, the Crunch eventually chipped away at that 3-0 deficit. By the way, the first time they trailed by 3 goals in a game during the entire postseason. And they made it 3-2 with still 12.5 minutes to go. That was the longest 12.5 minutes I ever remember. And the final 2 minutes were not for the faint of heart.
Boy, they threw everything at the Griffins they could, but the boys came up and blocked a ton of shots. And Jared Coro told me last night, it's easy for me to do. I'm all equipped. These guys are taking it off their body. In that final couple of shifts, Dan Bernoff and then Dylan McElrath just laid the body out, blocked shot after shot. Boy, both those guys warriors last night.
Yeah, it was obviously came down to the wire. They were pressing pretty hard there and taking that penalty with just enough time in the period. We had to obviously bear down, and you kind of just, it's white noise, and you just kind of try to do everything you can to make sure it's not going in the net.
Well, historically in the American Hockey League, a team with a 3-1 lead in a best-of-7 series has fared pretty well. In fact, 199 of 217 overall. 199 of those have gone on to win the series, and even more difficult to win the Calder Cup Finals if you're down 3-1.
Yeah, 36 teams have had a 3-1 lead. 33 of those have gone on to win the Cup. In fact, the last time a team lost a 3-1 lead in the Calder Cup Finals, Hershey in 1949.
Don't say a word about that being my second year as a play-by-play guy.
I would not do that to you.
Mitch Callahan is one of 3 players that were part of that 2013 championship right here in this building. He wouldn't mind one bit repeating that accomplishment.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people can ever say they've done that before. If it happens tonight, that's awesome. It's gonna be fun. But if it doesn't, we gotta get back rolling when we go home.
Well, to a man, the Griffins felt like last night was their best game of this series, and it certainly was timely to build a 3-1 lead in the series. Now, the one thing, though, Larry, you look at the 2 games here in Syracuse, oddly enough, the Griffins 0 for 11 on that power play, including missing out on a 2-man advantage last night and an opportunity to put the game away. So I think they got to shore that up, clean it up a bit, and hopefully cash in on a chance or 2 tonight.
Yeah, and oddly, if one thing you want to improve on is the thing you were best in the league at all season and throughout the playoffs. So you got to believe that would happen. They came in last night thinking, can we end the mystique of not being able to, someone to win in this building? Can we get the PK rectified, and can Jared bounce back from giving up 10 goals in 2 games? And yes.
Going in, we said Syracuse hates Grand Rapids. They despise us right now. It's been partly because the Griffins, of course, won the Cup here, and they've just dominated the Crunch really going back several years ago. And the other thing is 1937 since they last won a Calder Cup, first one ever in the American Hockey League. So it's a long time coming for them.
Yeah, bad news for them. Great fans here. You'd like to see them win it sometime, just not this year.
All right, so we've got the broadcast of Game 5 coming your way. 6:35 pregame coverage, Larry, and I'll have it for you on ESPN 961. Downtown watch party again at Pepino's. Larry, we look forward to what we hope will be another memorable night here in Syracuse.
Cannot wait. It's been an incredible atmosphere in both buildings, both cities over the last 4 games, and hopefully we wrap it up here tonight.
All right, if Syracuse survives, of course, that Game 6 would be in Grand Rapids on Tuesday, Game 7, if necessary, on Wednesday at the Van Andel Arena. Thanks for joining us. Our game day preview presented by Michigan First Credit Union.